Alright, so we are back for another video, guys, and today we're gonna check the Moondrop Nekocakes. So this is really exciting because this is the first ANC that we are checking out from Moondrop. So we did check the Sparks before, and I did like my overall listen, especially for enthusiasts. So it's a different tuning compared to other TWSs in the price range. So ANCs is actually getting more competitive as the months go by. I actually personally use an ANC a lot. The convenience for ANCs is really good for me, blocking out the noise outside. So you can use it for a plane. It will be the best in isolation, of course, because it's a noise cancelling pair. And for some usages as well, especially if you're maybe in an office, coffee shop, having that ANC option is really nice. So for TWSs, for me, ANCs have the best convenience. So looking at the box itself, of course, you're getting that portrait of your Moondrop Nekocake as well, true wireless stereo, and you're getting that Moondrop logo at the top as well. In terms of the information of Bluetooth 5.0, you're getting AAC as well, you're getting Type-C USB, you're getting 37 milliamperes in the battery in the lobes, and also 300 milliamperes of the battery in the case as well. Pretty standard, I'd say, but of course the key selling point here is the sound. So actually for this unboxing, guys, we're gonna focus on the sound quality. So you might want to check other reviews if you want to check out the other features here of your Moondrops. So this is a sound focused channel, so we're gonna focus on that for this unboxing experience. All right, and that is your Nekocakes. So actually the first time that we have seen from Moondrop that they're getting a stem design here. And from the get-go, this is actually a big case. I was expecting maybe a smaller case. The case here is similar to the Sparks overall. Of course, inside you're getting additional tips. It's kind of elongated tips here. You're getting a USB-C to USB-A cable. And yeah, not a lot in the box here. So for the price range that this is in, around $50, quite expected in terms of the overall package. Of course, I would love to have maybe a case on this, but Moondrop also sells cases for their TWSs and IEM, so not bad overall. So looking at the case itself, very similar to the size of the Moondrop Sparks. So this is it side by side, very similar. If not, the Sparks is still a bit bigger in terms of the overall size, but they're very similar in the look as well. But for me, actually the more glossy design on the Nekocakes is a bit easier to hold in the hand. So your matte finish has maybe more fingerprints after some time. Your more glossy design is a bit nicer to the hand to hold. You're getting that Nekocakes at the top. You're also getting that logo. So actually for Moondrops, you always get that maybe more unique look to your IEMs, and I do appreciate that small touches here. And on the other side, you're getting that USB-C and some information. So the information is not that centered for me, so that's a bit of a bummer. So comparing to maybe your usual Sabbats, as you guys can see, your Nekocakes is gonna be a bit bigger. So it still will fit in your pocket, I'd say, but definitely yes, this is in the bigger side of things. Alright, so putting the lobes in, so this is the look that you are gonna get. So as you guys can see, the stem is the size of your case here, and that fits really snugly here. There's some magnets as well to put your IMs in, your lobes in. Fits really snug. So on the top, it's not hollow to close and open here, so you're getting that reinforcement at the top, which is definitely welcome for me. And looking at the lobes itself, guys, so it's definitely that maybe AirPods-esque design. You're getting that pods design here, but this is a bit different because you're getting that maybe elongated or maybe squared off stem design, and you're getting that maybe Nekocakes logo at the side as well, and Moondrop as well. So even if it has maybe inspired design from your Apple designs, this still has their own thing going for it. You're getting that LED as well at the side. But yeah, I'm expecting that this will be really stable to the ear because usually that bulges here is gonna be more snug to wear on the ear, and actually it's quite light as well. So I do find the Sparks to be heavier in the hand compared to what you are getting with the Nekocakes. So this is a bit heavier, a touch heavier here. Design language of Moondrop carries over to the Nekocakes. So both of them have that design language of Moondrops, that maybe rounded size, that rounded top as well. So if you put them side by side, especially for a collector, you will know that you have both Moondrops. So yeah, build quality is quite good for me here overall. So we now have the Nekocakes on the ear, and this is the overall fit, very similar to the AirPods Pro. So it's quite snug to the ear, very stable here. You won't have an issue with using this for more extreme use activity. So for some running, this will stay on your ear. Still won't be as stable as your IEMs with fins, but not that bad here overall. And then because of that, maybe lighter lobes, this is fairly comfortable to wear as well. So I do have maybe more confidence that this won't fall off my ear. In terms of the isolation, not that good without the ANC here. So with the ANC, works like a charm here. So it's not the suffocating ANC. It blocks out most of the noise, but I do find that their more expensive ANCs, like maybe the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro, has still better ANC performance. It blocks out most of the noise over the Nekocakes, but this is not bad overall. Definitely usable in this. So definitely for that $42 price range, this is already really good ANC. Alright, now let's have our first listen, and we're listening to some Let's Groove, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So look at the sound quality here. This maybe reminds me a lot of the Sparks, the old one, but this is a bit more musical to listen to, a bit more aggressive to listen to. So in terms of the overall sound, this is more of a balanced sound for me on the ear. So maybe a slight treble elevation at the top, but still pretty balanced on the ear. So actually for me, the vocal presentation is quite clear in the mix, in the smoother side. But what I like about the vocals is it's not that shouty to listen to. So maybe reminds me a lot of the Moondrop Sparks. But this is a bit more musical to listen to. But yeah, the bass here is still not prominent in the mix. So it's still quite toned down in the mix. Mids is a bit forward in the mix here. So you know, the vocal positioning is really good. And the top end as well, maybe slightly elevated there. So maybe similarities to the Moondrop Sparks in terms of the overall listen to the ear. So definitely for this price range for an ANC, it's the first time that I've heard something like this, because most of what I'm listening to in that price range is more of a V type of shape. So this is the first time that we're seeing that maybe a brighter, more clarity focused listen to the ear. Let's try some Let's Groove, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So actually the tonality is quite natural for me to listen to. So much like the Moondrop Sparks. So it's quite natural of a presentation for me to the ear. So in terms of the overall presentation, this kind of reminds me actually of the Moondrop Quarks in a way. So it's not an overly aggressive pair as well. So it's still in the musical side, but it's not an overly aggressive pair. I still find the arias to be better in tonality, a bit more natural in tonality. But for a TWS, this is pretty good. So going to the bass response, so actually the bass response is, yeah, it's quite substantial in the mix. It's not going to be your light bass in the mix. But yeah, for me, the bass response is not the highlight of this. It's still quite substantial in the mix, but this won't be for bass heads. So in this price range, this is one of the few that is not an overly bassy pair, and that definitely by itself is a unique selling point for me. So actually the bass, even if it's not that elevated in the mix for me, so it has a bit of boom to the bass. So there's a bit of mid-bass elevation here. So there's ample bass here to throw around. Maybe there's a slight mid-bass bleed as well. So there's still that ample bass at the bottom, but again, this is not an overly bassy pair, and also not super elevated bass here. Going to the mids, the mids is one of my favorites here in this presentation. So I find the mids to be really smooth, lush in the presentation. Again, it reminds me a lot of maybe the Moondrop SSPs. So this is not quite aria smooth, but maybe a SSP kind of smooth here. So the vocals are full and also quite clear in the mix as well. Nice position as well in the mix. So like here in September, Earth, Wind, and Fire, you can definitely feel the fullness, the body, and the vocals. So actually for vocal heads, you will really like the presentation here. Vocal presentation is quite neutral in the presentation to the ear. It's not going to be or maybe overly bright or overly warm vocal. So quite good in the presentation here. Going towards Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. So the top end, yes, it's a bit elevated in the mix. So you're getting a bit of shimmer on top here, but not that much. In terms of the body in the cymbals, pretty good here overall. So again, quite surprising for a TWS. But this is still not going to compete with your wired counterparts. There's still a bit of maybe splashiness in the cymbals here, just a touch here, like here in Billie Jean. So in the shaker in the right side, in the upper right side, is still not the fullest bodied cymbals that I've listened to. Soundstage is above average. Separation not that good as well because of the smoother nature of the sound. Separation is not that black and white, so this is not something that you want to use for maybe some mixing. And monitoring as well, not so much. So this is a bit more toned down compared to other maybe monitoring pairs. This is not designed to be monitors, but for casual listening, this will be really nice. Going towards 24K Magic Bruno Mars. So here in 24K Magic Bruno Mars, so you know, the bass in the bottom really shows in the mix, that is quite prominent in the mix, but not overwhelming here. So it was able to handle it, and the vocals of Bruno Mars as well, really good in terms of the resolution in the mix, quite smooth as well. So yeah, overall listen, quite nice here. Alright, so for the sound quality, I'm say really good here. So definitely for that $40 price range and having that ANC really good sound. But one thing to consider here, guys, especially for the usability part, is after you put the Nekocakes in, it doesn't, you know, stop the music right away. As you guys can hear, it's still playing here while I am playing with my phone. So that's one issue again. So, you know, some small inconveniences here. But actually after you close it, it does stop playing. So that's nice. But yeah, compared to maybe other TWSs, once you put it in the case, it stops right away. So you know, minor inconveniences here. And also another improvement, guys, that I, you know, did like here in the Nekocakes is you're getting that pairing button. So actually before in the Moondrop Sparks, I did encounter some, you know, reconnection issue. So especially when I transfer to other devices, so it's not as easy to repair the you know, Moondrop Sparks. But now here with this button, it's gonna be easier to, you know, pair it maybe an Android device. You're gonna pair it with your laptop as well. Other devices, it's gonna be a lot easier here. So this is definitely a welcome improvement for me. So I actually encountered in the Sparks. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the Nekocake, that after longer periods of time, so sometimes I can just only connect one lobe and I cannot connect the other one. So you know, that's an issue that hopefully is gonna be fixed in the Nekocakes. Alright, so for the Nekocakes, what do I think of it? Do I think it's worth it or not? So for me, for the $46 price range, I think it's pretty much worth it. So definitely in that price range, again, this might be the most kind of enthusiastically tuned you know, TWS that I have seen. It's quite balanced of a presentation. The bass is not overwhelming in the mix. Vocal positioning is really nice. Body on top is pretty good. Also not that aggressive of a listen. Not the most detailed, but not that aggressive of a listen, quite relaxed. So quite close to maybe a Moondrop Quarks type of listen to the ear, or the SSPs as well. So definitely if you're into a Moondrop kind of sound, if you did like maybe the Moondrop Quarks in your overall listen, and maybe the SSPs as well, this might be something that you can consider. And also like the look as well, so you're getting nice character to the TWS here. Of course, in terms of cons, this is still a $40 TWS here. So the build quality is not the best here, I'd say. Still quite plasticky. And also, yes, the lack of maybe an app integration is also you know, a bummer here as well. So hopefully they will have it in the future. And also you have some potential as well of maybe some connection issues in the future. So for me, it's not the smartest TWS, but in terms of the overall sound, this is really nice here. With what we have right now, I think it's worth the $46 price range that this is asking for. So actually for this December, I will have maybe more unboxings here in the channel, because I do like to cover more IEMs, and you know, the full review takes a lot of time. So I will do more unboxings just to cover more, especially before the earphone awards. I would like to open everything and listen to everything before the earphone awards, so we can find, you know, the awardees for this year's earphone awards in the nick of time, because it will take me some time to, you know, analyze everything and stuff. But that will come, of course. Subscribe here in this channel for the earphone awards this year. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt preview. Goodbye.